Okay, great. Okay. Moving right along, I now invite Rebecca Hollaway, Rotary International, who will be doing a membership report for us. Ms. Hollaway.
Hello, bonjour. ABCs, Bombini. Suriname, Fawaka. Boom. It's not every time I come to a Rotary event and turn the little notebook they give you in those bags into a new dictionary with about 4 different languages. It is an absolute privilege to be here. DG Roger, thank you so much for the invitation. This is my very first time visiting District 7030, and I hope it's not my last. DG Iwadi, thank you so much as well for the absolutely wonderful pets for you club president-elects out there. It is going to be an absolutely exciting year. For those of you that are just joining us, club membership chairs, everybody else, I support membership from Rotary International. So I live and work in Chicago, and I work very closely with club membership leaders, zone coordinator Art McQueen, who spoke to us earlier today, PDG and district membership chair Elwin, and the AGs in the room to support membership initiatives that are happening regionally. So I work with this zone, as well as Zone 33 and another Zone 21A, which covers Mexico, Central America, and part of South America. So a pretty large and diverse area with a number of different languages and cultures. So Rotary's membership is indeed our single greatest asset, as we all know. Rotaractors, thank you so much for being here. You indeed are also one of our greatest assets. When we increase our membership numbers, we improve the value in our clubs, the vibrancy of our clubs, and we indeed create more resources in which to do projects throughout the world. Our members are indeed our single greatest asset. So today I'm going to focus on where we are globally in terms of membership, where we are to date, and what steps Rotary International and clubs are taking to become more relevant and more vibrant in our communities, not just today and this year, but for our second century of service. So as of July 1, 2016, we had about 1,208,000 members, represented in about 35,000 clubs. Now, if you look at the graph, so this graph that's on the screen for you, these are our worldwide membership trends since 2001. We see some fluctuation in membership. And this is a reminder to all of us in the room, regardless of if we work directly in membership or not, that membership can't really be treated as a campaign. It's an obligation to create value and think of our members and our potential members all the time. So last year, 2016, represented a very, very slight drop in membership of about 1,500 members. And a lot of times recently when we're talking about membership, it can be membership has stayed at 1.2 million for a really long time. It can be seen as negative. But what I do want to remind you is that even last year, though we had that small drop, it was still our 3rd highest membership number to date for Rotary, just 5,700 members short of our highest peak in 2002. So indeed, this creates an opportunity for membership, a very positive light on membership moving forward. So on the screen is the worldwide membership dashboard some of you might be familiar with. It comes out every month. This is for the month of March, because we haven't yet completed this month of April. We're getting close. So as you see that we started the year off with the numbers I just basically recalled, with our current membership numbers now having a net change of about 25,000. So a net change from the first of the year of 25,000, which is fabulous, that's great. However, if you look at a bullet point just below under those membership key highlights, you'll note that we're about 2,000 members short of where we were last year at this time. Some positive news on this chart, however, is that we are increasing our number of female members by about a percentage point, and our younger members, so members under the age of 40. Now, I want to bring this down to the district level for all of you. So these are some recent trends, about 10 years for District 7030. Now, as you can see, also the numbers for 7030 haven't fluctuated that much. So on this graph, if you can see it, sorry for those of you far in the back, but it highlights numbers from about 1,000 to 2,200 members. And as you can see, for the past couple of years, 2-3 years, the district has actually seen some very positive growth. So for all of those PDGs out there, thank you so much for your hard work in the past couple of years. You're teaching me a lot about membership, but you're also teaching me how to Lyme, which is pretty great. So a lot of respect goes to you for all of your hard work in the past years. So in 2012, Rotary membership worldwide took quite a large drop. But since then, this district has shown some extreme progress with 2 to 3% growth over the past couple of years, with an increase of about 200 members from the ABC Islands. This year is also, as you can see, growing extremely fast. One thing to note, which I find is really interesting, is that is female membership. So about 10 years ago, the district was made up of about 15% females, and today you're at about 26% females. So congratulations. Now, I want to note it's maybe not where we want to be, and so continue on this good work, but you are about 5% higher than the global average, which right now in Rotary is about 21% for female membership. Another interesting discussion for this district is that the number of clubs has stayed about stable for the past 10 or so years. I think you've increased about 6 clubs since 10 years ago, with your last club that was charted in 2014. Now, I talk about new club growth because this is a discussion that is happening at Rotary International. We talk about new strategies for increasing the vibrancy in our clubs and the number of clubs and members. And when we look at Rotary club growth, which is on your screen, you see that the number of Rotary clubs, although our membership numbers may be slightly declining globally, the number of clubs are actually increasing, which you can see with the yellow line on that graph. So new clubs are traditionally our growth engine for Rotary. So we increase our membership numbers with new clubs. And what I want to show you now is that when we look at this pattern of membership trends since 2001, those are our number of new clubs, you actually see that it corresponds almost exactly with our membership trends that I showed you earlier. So some of you might be thinking, well, Rebecca, that makes sense. When you have new clubs, you bring in new members. But this doesn't exactly describe our retention rates necessarily. But what this is showing is that new clubs, and thinking of new clubs in your communities or potentially satellite clubs, is a real option for strengthening Rotary in your local areas. Now, District 7030 is very interesting geographically, right? Live on smaller island communities, and there may not be options for new clubs, but I have heard some very interesting discussions over the past couple of days about finding value in new areas of these communities to potentially start new clubs or play around with the idea of satellite clubs. So I really encourage you to look at that as an option. However, attracting new members, starting new clubs, thinking about satellite clubs as options isn't the only part of this formula. It's just a part of the equation. What is interesting about this, and this is the 2015 membership gains and loss, what's interesting is the red. So last year, Rotary brought in about 157,000 new members, which is fabulous. However, 17,000 of those members left within their first year. What's also interesting and very important is that 153,000 of those members who are existing also left Rotary. So to do the math, we're losing on average in any given year about 10% of our membership. So enhancing the membership experience at Rotary International, creating value, which we've talked about today. Art McQueen mentioned that earlier, as well as our Rep. Michael. Providing value is what we need to keep members in our clubs. And that really comes down to us finding that value and bringing out that fire in the experience. We know that, through studies and just from talking with Rotarians, that people join Rotary because they want to give back and they want to make connections. So keeping that in mind when we're talking about value and are you providing that in your club, are you providing that to each other, is extremely important. So recent trends in volunteerism are important for us to think about as an organization, as Rotary, because volunteer trends impact our work. So in a recent international survey on volunteerism, we find that the nature of volunteering is changing rapidly. We can see this with the way Rotaractors do projects as well. So there's an increase in virtual volunteerism, workplace volunteering, so volunteering where you're employed, skill-based volunteering, so volunteering with something that you have an expertise in, as well as episodic volunteering, which I think is extremely important for Rotary. So episodic volunteering is volunteering in a way that's not totally standard. You don't do the same thing every week. You do something when you have time, you do something when it means it brings value to you or that excites you, or maybe something that challenges you. Now, I bring this up because I think in a lot of ways Rotary can be very traditional. You do things because your club's been doing it for a number of years. We've got clubs in the room that have been around for ages. And when I was thinking about this kind of idea of understanding these elements of convenience and consumerism and what people want in both volunteering and experience, it made me think of Hershey's. So are you familiar with Reese's Peanut Butter Cups? They happen to be one of my personal favorites, so if you're looking to give me a gift, I do enjoy them. So a couple of years back, Hershey's and their brand Reese's Peanut Butter Cups started to think about their traditional Reese's, which were those big Reese's that are pretty messy when you eat them. And then you have those really cool ones that are, they try to keep you on a diet. They're a little bit smaller and they're wrapped in foil, but you need two hands to open them up. So they were thinking about this concept of, well, the big ones are too messy. The little ones, you need two hands to open up. So, if you're trying to play video games, you can't really eat your Reese's. So they were thinking about this idea of consumerism and flexibility and what people wanted. And they designed these gorgeous yellow packages with plastic resealable top and a flat bottom. And in a couple of years, they made $235 million just repackaging the product they already had to make it more consumer-friendly, modern, and flexible for their consumers. So in thinking about Reese's, I'm not trying to get you hungry, nor am I saying you should provide Reese's at your club meetings. Membership engagement and innovation is absolutely key. So we have to be looking at what the real demand, the real world demand is of members. And we're looking at those volunteer trends, as episodic volunteering, that ability to become flexible and change. It brings us to a very interesting time for Rotary. So last year's Council on Legislation, 2016, there was a lot of change that happened. Now, a lot of you, and I know Rotary Coordinator Art McQueen says clubs have been doing this a long time ago, but the Council agreed that clubs needed more flexibility or allowed more flexibility. So the Council allows now clubs to change the dates and times and their meeting frequency, which is pretty exciting, even though a lot of clubs were already doing that. But this council was very transformative because it allows and encourages Rotary clubs to think about the service that they're offering to their members. Allows more flexibility if you want more flexibility. Allows greater flexibility with membership types. So a lot of clubs are now discussing new types of membership for bringing in Rotaractors or young professionals, or playing with corporate memberships or alternative memberships. So I think to help provide an experience, yes, are some of you in the room? The Rotaractors left, so I wanted to bring them back via the photo that I took last night at the fabulous opening. So what we're really doing now at Rotary is just encouraging clubs to think about providing new options for flexibility, whether that's in meeting frequency Or this picture reminds me of Rotorect to Rotary transition. So now Rotorectors can simultaneously be a part of Rotary clubs. Different membership categories, including, like I said, young professional clubs. I work with a number of clubs in many areas that are altering their types of memberships to make it more inclusive for different members in their communities. We've got clubs that are experimenting with virtual meetings. So there's a lot of option right now and a lot of flexibility. But we're not saying, and I'm definitely not saying that you need to do this. I'm just encouraging you to have dialogue with your club, with the members in your club, with the boards in your clubs, to decide, are you happy with where you are? Are things working? And if so, that's great. And if not, what are some things we can do to change to make your club more relevant and to bring more value to your members? So Rotary has some resources on the council decisions and additional flexibility. For example, the rotary.org/flexibility page, which you see on your screen. And really, again, this is about creating the dialogue. What does flexibility mean to you, and do you want it? If you don't want it, that's okay. If you're happy with where you are, that's great. But have a dialogue, make sure that you're meeting the needs of your members. And this webpage is really great because it provides sample bylaws, different ideas, and other resources on these dialogues about best practices for flexibility. Rotary has also a number of different resources specifically for membership on creating this dialogue. Earlier this week, I talked a little bit about the value in assessments. So we've got the Rotary Club Health Check, which is a new resource that provides you with sample survey questions to ask your members. What's really cool about this is that it's not really a publication. It's something you can put into a survey software like SurveyMonkey, edit it and tailor it to your club, and send it out to get to know what your members are enjoying about their club experience or what they might want to change. Membership Assessment Tools is another fantastic guide that provides, in my opinion, a very interesting assessment on the reasons why members are leaving. So we've got, as we see, 10% of our members are leaving, but do we know why? So it provides you with some ideas as to how to start that conversation with those members to better know what you can potentially change or improve in your club to allow those members to either to return or make changes in your own clubs. One last resource that I'll quickly share with you is the Membership Leads Program. And the Membership Leads Program is an external and an internal platform for Rotarians and for external folks who are interested in joining Rotary, so some prospective members. And basically what it does is it allows external folks to say, hey, I'm interested in Rotary, connects them with the local district, and that eventually is passed down to the clubs so that we can see if they may be a good fit in your clubs, which is in strengthening clubs and increasing membership. This year alone, we've had about 15,000 leads come in through the platform worldwide, which is more than we had last year. And we've admitted about 1,500 leads, which is about 4 leads per day. So 4 external people who are interested in Rotary are now joining per day through this platform. So it's really fantastic. What's also interesting about this is 34% of those leads are between the ages of 30 and 39. So younger professionals, really vibrant folks who are interested in joining the organization. Now, for those of you who are thinking, well, I'm not external, I'm not going to use this platform, I understand, but I want to share that as a Rotarian, you can also use this to refer members or relocate members. So if you're leaving your club because you're moving, you can use this to find a new club. Also, if some of you are on the way here in the airport to Port of Spain and you may have met someone at the airport, you think, man, they would be a really great Rotarian. You get their business card. Now what you can do is easily go into the platform via My Rotary, and you can input their information so that they're directly connected with a district in their local area. So it's a really fabulous resource, not only externally, but also internally. So as we talked about today, membership, or as I discussed, membership innovation and engagement is absolutely key to bringing value to our members. And Rotary International is trying to provide support via resources, via these methods like membership leads, to assist in that. Our department is working on a number of different initiatives surrounding club flexibility, alternative membership types, and other membership initiatives to strengthen you as members, to strengthen our clubs around the world, so that you all and Rotary International can continue to stay vibrant and relevant over the next 100 years. I'll be here all weekend, and I'm extremely excited to get to know you, talk to you, write new words into my vocabulary dictionary. So I'd be happy to hear your stories about membership. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup.